Hello everyone and welcome back to the 2026 Zafiralis All-Rounder Championship. It's round 3 today. It's the last of our South City rounds before we move on to our next location. Should be in for a good one tonight. We've got the MRT at South City Classic, which is a bit of a classic S1 combo. So look forward to the retro almost race that we've got tonight. As you see on our screen here, we've got the calendar, so we still don't know where we're heading next month, but yeah, so this is our first slick tire race of the year. Last round we were on rallycross, and today we're on the slick tire, so it's a 45-minute race. There's no mandatory pit stop, but it should be filled with action and carnage in this small little car. It's got no reverse gear, so they better keep out the barriers. As you can see, we're at South City Classic. It's only 2 kilometers long, so we've got some really short lap times here. It's a long race. Well, on the lap count, it's 56 laps because the laps are so short. There's only 2 braking zones here at turn 2 and turn 7, and turn 7 is quite a fast corner itself, so there's only really one heavy braking zone into turn 2 there. We've got the really tricky chicane that's on this track map. It's 3, 4, 5 and 6, which we might see some chaos at tonight. It's a bit infamous in the world of LFS. And yeah, so today the drivers are driving the MRT, which, as I mentioned, has no reverse gear, so they need to keep it out the barriers. It's a motorbike engine, and it's a motorbike gearbox. It's a Formula Student car. So this car is designed by a team of students at McGill. So it's a real life car, McGill University in Canada. Normally, it would never have been seen at such massive tracks as this, but LFS, we can have a bit of unrealistic fun. So yeah, quickly before the race starts, we've got to have a little rundown of the Drivers' Championship so far. After the first 2 rounds, Sufor currently leads after a pretty chaotic win last time around at the rallycross course we raced last month. Gabor's in second. He was absent last week and he's absent this week, so I expect he'll be falling down the standings after today. We've got Michael in third, who's had 2 reasonable results so far. Famuli in fourth. Motomikari in 5th. And yeah, we've got a notable couple of drivers that aren't on this list here tonight. We've got Lallaroo, we've got Nico or Unite, and Nico has had some previous success in this series last year, and so he'll be looking to get his name up on this standings list. He's currently 16th on the list, so yeah, he was here for round 1, but it didn't really show up to that. So the qualifying results: we've got Sufor on pole, Lallaroo in second, Nico in third, Famuli in fourth, Motomikari in 5th. Then we've got Galaxy in 6th, Mad Jester 7th, Roni 8th, Hosep 9th, and rounding out the top 10 is Michael in. And yeah, just about to go to the grid now. Lights are going red, and away we go. Sufor gets away with a good start. Lallaroo and Unite follow. Looks like Nico is going to be making a move into turn 1. He's got a run on Lallaroo, so he heads to the inside. And he makes it. He makes the move. Can he make it stick? No, Lallaroo swings around the outside and keeps that place. And Nico's now under pressure for third. And he makes a mistake. He hits the wall on the inside of the chicane, and he's out of the race. He's facing the wall. I'm not sure if he caused any further chaos there. I think everyone else has managed to get away with that, but sadly, Nico, he's taken advantage of the fact that you can pit and rejoin, but he will be over a lap down, as we still have someone stationary on the grid there. So, bit of a chaotic start. Hopefully the admins can get on that to remove it. We've got Lalaru gets a bit of a slide on as he chases Su4. We've got a driver, Mad Jester, in the pit lane because he is jump started, so he's just exiting the pit lane there after taking his penalty. And we've got, I'm hearing in my ear, we've got another driver who's made a mistake, possibly flipped out of the race. So there's chaos going on in the background here, but yeah, hopefully once we've got these first couple laps down, drivers will start to settle in. The field's already quite strung out. Quite a big gap between Roni in 5th and Themuli in 4th already. The two Zafiralis drivers on your screen now, fighting for the last step on the podium. Themuli looks like he's got a run there. He's done a great job in the chicane. He's looking to the inside into the final corner. I wonder if he'll have this done before the... No, McElroy will try and hold it on the outside. Yeah, too wide through that final corner. These cars are small, but even still, that's quite a feat to pull it off around such a sketchy corner there. And they're still too wide coming into probably the sketchiest. Well, this track is sketchy corner after sketchy corner, but yeah, that's still tricky to hold it too wide around there. But yeah, looks like Themuli will get that place, so he's in P3 now. So yeah, that's brought Roni back a little bit closer, as you can see in the just behind McElroy on this rear view camera, with his bright race green colours there on his MRT. And yeah, coming back to Su4, Lalaru is he's trying to stick with it, but yeah, Su4 just seems to have the edge right now. You would have thought that with such a purple car that Lalaru would be inside us, but no, he's a TAV driver. Yeah, just trying to stick with Su4 here. The gap is just getting bigger by the split line, unfortunately. It's Su4 is quite strong in any slick car. Well, he's strong in all cars, but especially his slick tires. And yeah, it's no surprise to see him with such a large gap already at the front. So we just see Themuli starting to open up that gap, and we have Nico there. Unite is even though he's a lap down, he started in the top 3. He started in P3, and so he has the pace to sort of unlap himself, and hopefully, as long as he doesn't make any more mistakes, he should hopefully get a few places back here as he makes a move on Michael, I believe. Hosep, that is. Yeah, Michael, that is. So Michael decides to fight it, even though there's not really a race for position here. Maybe he thinks that Nico can get all the way around and back at him. But yeah, Nico makes that pretty easily around the outside, and will try and get up the road after Roni, who's in P5. Oh, there was someone there. That was Themuli, I believe, who made a mistake coming out of turn 2 there. So he's got very lucky there not to put it in the wall front facing, and is kept it on going. Yeah, it looks like he hit the wall there. He's got damage on his nose cone. So yeah, if he's hit the wall, he's very lucky to keep it going here. And there's further issues there, and I didn't get a chance to see who that was because they instantly spectated. I'm hearing in my ear that that's Tamas, and apparently he's having some technical issues. That'll be a shame for him. He was doing well there in the top 10. And yeah, Roni, because of that issue from Themuli there, Roni's gained another place up into 4th, so he's having a good race so far. He's got Nico there behind him, but that won't be for position, so he's got quite a big gap behind him to Michael. As we see Themuli making his way past Hosep there. Themuli will he'll be very frustrated with that little mistake. And yeah, Hosep's coming back at him. Maybe not. He decides to play it safe coming through the difficult turn 1. I'm hearing that Machek's recovering from a spin, so yeah, that's an interesting place to spin the car. I'm wondering if he's had some sort of issue there, maybe with lag or something like that, because that's not a place that we normally see people spin, and it can be quite catastrophic there because it's such a fast corner. As we see in Themuli's little picture-in-picture camera there, you can yeah, I'm hearing Machek has hit the curb on the outside of the last corner, and these curbs that are currently at South City, I'm hearing they'll be removed in an update, but currently they can be a little bit sketchy if you find yourself running wide out onto them. As we see Themuli has already made a gap back into Michael there, so yep, he's looking to recover from his spin that he had earlier on. It looks like this is going to be a race of not making any mistakes. If you manage to keep it out the wall, then you might be on for a good result. As we see Steve Martin's taking a little look at Tajka there, but decides to leave it till the home straight. He looks like he's got a better exit, and he'll have the draft. So this might be on. He might be on for a move into turn 1, as Tajka is trying to get him out of the draft. Steve Martin's. Oh, is he gonna? He's looking on the inside. He's making a move. He's late on the brakes, and he's up the inside. Will Tajka have the momentum to look into the chicane? No, he won't. So great move there from Steve Martin, but we'll have to go into the defensive into the last corner here, as Tajka's right on his tail. The draft is quite weak in these cars, but he's definitely close enough there to take another look. He's going very tight into the last corner. Tajka will be able to hold momentum on the outside line, and yeah, it looks like Tajka's taking that back as we go forward to Themuli, trying to reclaim his 5th place. There's a little touch there through turn 1. Michael's up the inside on the defense into turn 2, and he does manage to keep the place. Themuli runs wide, has a little scrape of the barrier, and cannot get past Michael. As Steve Martin and Tajka continue to battle, it's in exactly the same position as last lap, so Tajka will look to... he makes a little mistake there in the chicane, and he might be out of the draft there. Going back ahead to Themuli, having another look at Michael. He tries to hold it around the outside, but has a little slide there and has to slot in behind. And he'll be well out of the draft, and he has, no momentum there. as these cars, even though they're so light, because they have so little horsepower, momentum is very important. So if you manage to hold a higher apex speed and you manage to minimize your sliding and your mistakes, then that means you're going to do a faster lap. And what you saw there was Themuli. He only had a little slide, but that was all it took for him to lose a few tenths on the exit of that last corner. That he was side by side with Michael, and now he's 5 tenths behind him. As we see the gap open up in that battle for 8th place. So going back to the front, we've got Su4 has he's consolidated his lead there into P1 there. It's got over 3 seconds is the gap to Lallarue. So even though the times were so close in qualifying, Su4 has just got that added edge of consistency, and he's been able to put quite a big gap on the rest of the field already. Mad Jester is retired from the race, although he seems to have rejoined. So he's we didn't see that on the camera, but I'm assuming that that's a similar issue to what Nico had on lap 1, where he's gone round and he's facing the barrier, and because there's no reverse gear, he can't get out of it. I'm hearing in my ear that it was much more dramatic than that. It wasn't a slide into the wall. It was he clipped too much. He took too much of a curb and clipped the apex and flipped the car. So that's quite dramatic. I saw someone do that while they were practicing earlier, and I say, because of the sort of weird center of gravity in this car, you can get some quite dramatic flips. As it looks like Themuli's finally made it past Michael into the top 5 again. So he will be annoyed that took him so many laps. Michael is quite a fierce defender, and he's not going to let any position go easily. And yeah, Themuli, well, he had to fight for that one, but he's looking now to make some inroads into Roney up ahead in P4. As you can see on this onboard camera, as the director comes off of that camera, but the MRT has a new steering wheel coming with the most recent LFS update. As you can see, it's got a screen on it and it's nice and shiny. It's quite fun, because the old steering wheel was quite boring, and yeah, it's nice to have something new. As we're on board with Unite, who's looking to he's caught up with Mata Makari. This is not for position, but this is part of his unlapping himself after his mistake on lap 1. I'm sure Mata Makari won't make it too difficult for him. But yeah, Nico, as you can see, Nico has got a significant pace advantage. He did qualify in front of Mata Makari. So yeah, let's have a look. Nico decides to stay out of the draft, so it looks like he's gonna go single file into the last corner, and he'll try and make a move going into turn 2, although it looks like he's made a bit of a mistake coming out of the final corner. Let's see if he's in the draft. Yeah, I don't think he's gaining any time on you, so yeah. Tried to use a bit of racecraft there, used his racing brain, but he has lost out on the draft there when he had it before. Looks like Mata Makari is maybe a little bit slower through this first couple corners than Nico is, but Mata Makari's just as good, if not faster, around this final corner. Yeah, Mata Makari's he's made a little mistake there, but yeah, as you can see, just a little bit of a mistake there. You lose your momentum, your apex speed is a little bit lower, and you just get trounced. So yeah, that's Nico making a move, not for position, but another car is unlapped. As we have, wow, our second place. Well, he was in second place. Lallaroo has made a surprise pit stop there. He's taken damage repairs, so I'm assuming that he's hit the wall quite hard on the previous lap and has had to, come in. That is a significant loss of time. That's a 30-second pit stop. And then once you add your pit lane speed and all of that, that's going to be... He's lost well over a lap's time there. You know, he's lost about a minute because of that pit stop. And that puts him... Well, I think he might be racing with Nico. He might be a little bit in front of him, but that makes it a bit exciting for that 10th place now. And Nico will have someone to race for position that is a similar pace to him. So yeah, that puts Motomikari up into P2. So Chris in my ear has told me that Lallaroo is another driver, just like what Nico did on the first lap, another driver to fall foul of the chicane. And just as I mentioned, Nico, he's made another mistake, and he's basically lost all that time that he's gained after that pit stop. So that's a shame for him. Round after the final corner, I wonder if that's because he's clipped the wall on the exit, or maybe clipped the curb too much. So yeah, here it was the same issue as Maciek. He hit the curb, and that spun him round. So yeah, these curbs, as you can see, some of them are pretty tame, and at that chicane you kind of need to go over them. But some of these exit curbs around the sort of slower corners, I say slower, this is still a fast corner, but as Nico, his tyres will still be hot from that slide, and yeah, he gets a bit of oversteer coming into the final corner. So we get a close-up of the shoelaces on the front of his car. The MRT is always seen as a bit of a funny looking car, sort of the funniest looking car in LFS, and it's really small, so there are numerous funny skins available to download from the LFS forum, and one of them is the Converse style shoe there, and I think there's a few others, but nobody seems to have a banana. That's one of my favorites. I'm sure there are some other brilliant ones. And yeah, Roni. Wow, I missed that. And Motomikari's he lost about 4 seconds there, I believe, on that previous lap, and it's let Roni get ahead, and Thamuli's going for the move. These cars are so similar, I don't know who's who, but it looks like Thamuli's ahead, and Motomikari's lost the position, lost another position. So that's, well, it's back to where we were with the two Zafiralis cars at the start of the race. Thamuli's back up ahead. Motomikari will be quite frustrated with that, because normally Thamuli is the sort of fastest Zafiralis driver, but I'm sure Motomikari will not be too annoyed that it's his teammate getting past and not someone else. It looked to me like it was another final turn incident there. It was another wobble out the last corner. So it seems to me like the only drivers who haven't made any mistakes so far this race are Sufor, Roni, and possibly Michael, but I'm not sure about that. So as long as you keep it out of the curbs and out of the barriers, you seem to be golden. Thamuli is still taking the risk there, as you saw on those exit curbs. He's got 2 seconds up the road. He's got Roney. He's been eating into that gap all race, but it's kind of leveled out. I think he will get him soonish, but it's a good move. Good move there from Unite on the inside of Michael, as he unlaps himself for the second time. And as we see Maciek, I believe that is... oh, sorry, it's not Maciek, it's Mad Jester. So, Mad Jester, after rejoining the race multiple times, you can see he's 18 laps behind. But yeah, he's getting well out of the way there for the cars on the leading lap. And yeah, so Su4's leading by, after Lallaru's mistake there out of the chicane a few laps ago, Su4's got a massive gap to Roney, who has about another 2 second gap behind him to Themuli. Motkari's in 4th, Michael in 5th, Josep 6th, Steve Martin 7th, Tashka in 8th, Maciek 9th, Lallaru 10th, Nico in 11th, and then we've got a couple stragglers behind in Tamas and Madjester, who have had to rejoin the race midway through. So, yes, Su4 has a massive lead right now. It's pretty much half a lap. So, yeah, his split time coming over the one split time is 28 seconds. And that's over half a lap, because our lap times here are about 49 seconds. Well, they're 49 seconds if you're Su4. If you're not Su4, they're about 50 seconds. As Tamas has had an issue and crashed on the entry to the pit lane, so he was heading into the pits and has had to tele-pit and rejoin. Luckily, there are few enough people in this race that I believe that Tamas will still score points. Back there in 12th. Maybe I can get some help in my ear about the scoring system. As Lallaru has just retired as well, so well, that gives one fewer car for Nico to pass. I wonder what happened to Lallaru there, whether he has had an issue or has just decided to call it a day. As Maciek spins in front of Su4. So yeah, just as... well, that was going to be the first lapping there of a car that hadn't made a mistake, but he makes a mistake right in front of Su4 there. So yeah, that gap from Su4 back to Roney is now over 25 seconds. So I think we can officially call that half a lap. I'm hearing that Lallaru, the reason that he retired is because he had a catastrophic crash in the chicane. So that's a shame for him, because he was looking on for an amazing result. He was comfortably in P2, and then he made a mistake at the chicane and was running back in P10, but had an even worse collision in the chicane and decided to call it a day. As again, Tamas retires from the race. I wonder if we'll see him rejoin again. But yeah, the field's looking quite strung out right now. I guess these drivers have noticed that the way that you're going to finish this race in a good position is just chilling out. So if there's no one to race against, you're going to be chill. So you're just going to leave a gap and then go for it when you need to go for it. That gap to Themuli and Roney. Themuli was catching up with Roney for a while, but it's sort of stabilized around the 2 second mark. Famuli looks like he's pushing the car quite hard, but maybe he's overdriving it, because Roney looks like he's taking some more relaxed lines. He's not going so far up onto the curbs. It's a more gentlemanly style, and it seems to be working for him so far. He needs a smooth drive. As you could see there, the obvious difference in their lines. Roney was going, he had another foot or so to the curb there on the outside on the exit of turn 2, whereas Famuli was all over it. Famuli, I'm hearing, has had a little touch of the chicane wall. It looks like he's managed to get away unscathed, but that just proves how hard he's pushing, and possibly how he's overdriving the car. He made a mistake coming out the final corner there as well, possibly due to damage from hitting the chicane. I'm not sure. I think he got away with it. As we see Sufor making a second lapping, as Nico's in the pits repairing damage. I wonder if that's another chicane mishap. Apparently it's his right front that is damaged, so hopefully he'll be out of the pit lane again soon. That means that he's now 2 laps behind Sufor now, I believe. Get confirmation of that, but yeah, bit of a blow for Nico after such an amazing qualifying session. But Roney will be happy with that, with this race so far. He's kept it clean, he's kept out the barrier where others haven't, and he's on for one of his best results yet. So yeah, I was researching a little bit in just before the race today, as we see Nico exit the pits with a fresh car behind Steve Martin, who's I think will be 2 laps ahead of him. So yeah, the MRT is the MRT5, so that's I'm doing a bit of research about this, and that's the 5th Formula Student car that McGill Racing Team manufactured. It's a Formula Student car, so it's a real life car that the developers have modelled into Live for Speed. Some of these skins you'll see have the McGill branding on them. So yeah, the racing team was founded in 1998. So and they're also still going now, however, with electric Formula Student cars instead of these petrol-powered ones. I think, yeah, the modern electric Formula Student cars now, it'll depend on the rule set that the Formula Student league that they're racing in uses, but I believe that most Formula Student rules will include like quite high levels of downforce now, as that's what's used in pretty much all levels of motorsport. So if these students who might be looking to go into a racing job in the future, an engineering job at a racing team in the future, then they'll want to have some experience that is applicable. As we see Nico there, there's a brilliant onboard camera there going through that chicane. You can see really how tight it is. But believe it or not, in the new LFS update, the beta update 0.8, that chicane is slightly wider than it was previously. Not by the sort of apexes, but the middle of that chicane is wider than it was previously. So if you go back and look at some of our older broadcasts, you'll be able to see how it was even more sketchy beforehand. So Nico here, I mean, you can really see how much pace Nico has had that has sort of gone to waste here due to his mistakes as he gets a big slide on and hits the wall again, hit the chicane. He was keeping up with Su4, so that you know, he had a lot of pace to use this round, but unfortunately never got to use it due to his errors. He's going to have to unlap. Oh, sorry, that's Su4 coming to lap Steve Martin there. So Steve Martin goes a lap behind. So now there's only 5 other cars on the lead lap. That shows you how dominant Su4 has been. I'm not sure if he'll get Roni, but it looks like he's on track to get Josep and Michael at the very least before the end of this race. So it's a blowout basically. Su4 has he's already got one of the biggest winning margins that we've seen in Zafiralis, and I'm sure that'll get even bigger. As we see on our screen, Motomikari is under pressure from Fragmaster's Josep. Josep goes to the inside, brakes late, keeps the apex. Motomikari holds it around the outside, runs up on the curb, manages to keep the place, keeps the momentum on the outside line, just again showing you how powerful it is to have that little bit more apex speed, and it means you can just run it around the outside. As Mad Jester looks to be getting involved. Looks like he might have given given Josep a little bit of a push there. So even though he's 18 laps off the lead, he's getting involved quite closely with this battle for P5. As they go too wide into the first corner. Mad Jester gives them a little bit more space than he was earlier around the last lap. But yeah, it looks like Motomikari has kept the place for now. But yeah, this battle's one to watch because Josep has put a little bit of pace into Motomikari. Motomikari's running very wide through that chicane. I think Josep made a little mistake there as well because Mad Jester is really getting involved there. He has to dive out the way for Su4, who is coming up to lap Josep. Josep runs it wide through the final corner, giving space for Su4. And yeah, that's given a bit of a gap up ahead between Josep and Motomikari there. Josep will try and stick in Su4's draft just to try and get him back up to the back of Motomikari, as again Mad Jester gets scarily close to the back of Josep. And oh, that was pretty close there between Su4 and Motomikari. Su4 is considerably faster than these other drivers through that chicane. And yeah, it looks like Motomikari lost a little bit of less time than Josep did in being lapped there by Su4. If I was Josep, I would be very fearful of... Oh, as Machek's stationary on the track. He's just managed to get the car turned without hitting the barrier there, but it looks like he's got a lot of damage. Apparently he was facing the barrier, but had managed to put his car in neutral and let it just roll down the hill itself. If there's a place to crash your car, that hill is the place to do it, because you might be able to get away with it. Su4 has just set the fastest lap of the race there, so even though he has a 34-second gap, he's not slowing down. So that was a 49.358. And yeah, considerable gap there to Roney. And Sufor has made a mistake. Sufor's hit the barrier. Dramatic. I think I've cursed him there. That's a rather. I wonder if he's listening to me, because that's unfortunate timing. He's just as I'm praising his hard-working driving style. He's not giving up, even though he's so far in front. He makes a little error, but luckily the gap is so large that he's still around half a lap ahead. We'll get an update when Roney comes over the split line. Yeah, so he's only lost 10 seconds. So instead of the gap being about 36 seconds, it's now about 20, 29, 28 seconds. So yeah, bit of excitement there for him. Maybe raised his heart rate a bit, but he managed to keep it out of the barrier and keep the car going. So fortunate there for Sufor. As Famuli is coming up to the back of a lapped car there, Tajka using I believe that's a default skin. It's one of the MRT, as I said earlier, MRT, there's some quite fun skins that the community have made, but the default LFS skins for it are also quite nice. That's a Race Sim Central skin. So if you're an Unk, then you'll remember Race Sim Central is the forum that LFS used before the LFS forum exists back in 2002. I don't know if Race Sim Central still exists. I'm assuming no. Apparently they do still exist. The Muley makes a mistake, and he almost goes into the side of Michael there while rejoining. Again, luckily keeps out the barrier, but yeah, Michael just got through there, and I mean, like I said at the start of this race, keeping the mistakes at bay and just taking it chill, and you're going to finish well. And as I said earlier, the three drivers that haven't made a mistake are the current podium. There's Famuli heads into the pits, so he's got some sort of damage there that he needs to repair. That's a shame for him. Looking also there, small screen, but you could see there on his little picture-in-picture live stream there, he was checking his tires, and the tires were looking pretty cold, so maybe that's something the drivers need to watch out for. Yeah, I've just had a little check of Sufor's tires, and Sufor's tires are pretty cold, so that's a little bit unforeseen. These drivers, maybe that's one of the reasons why they're making so many mistakes, is because the tires, there are so few corners on this track, you know, so little of the percentage of the lap time is while cornering. That means that the tires aren't really getting worked that hard, and the MRT already, the tires are naturally a bit cooler than other cars in LFS, so drivers will need to watch out for the heat of their tires, and if they're as cold as others, then they're going to need to watch out not to spin. I guess it's also night time, which does make a difference in LFS. It's not a dramatic difference, but it is, the ambient temperature is a few degrees cooler at night than it is during the day, which makes a small impact on the tires. As Sufor is carving his way through further lap traffic. That's Mata Mukari there, and Mad Jester. Mad Jester's livery is, well, you heard me get confused by it earlier in the race. It looks suspiciously lime green, which are the colours of race green. So Yeah, it's quite a nice looking car though. It is an RTFR livery, so that'll be why it's green. Apparently it's exactly the same. Yeah, we can see it up close there, and as you can see the RTFR logo. It's exactly the same livery as Roni's, but red instead of white. Maybe Madjester's trying to send a message to Roni here. Maybe he wants to join up. Su4 rounds another lap of South City Classic. We've got 7 laps to go here. Apart from a small hiccup a few laps ago, it's been total domination by our Spanish driver here. He's taken the curbs like mental there in that chicane. He's all over them. And, you know, if you're careful and you're precise, then you can smash those curbs. And apart from, as I said, that one little hiccup earlier, he's been smashing those curbs and he's been getting away with it. Others, like Nico, not so successful at smashing those curbs. But yeah. So yeah, Su4, he's got another car in his sights. Michael, at some point of the lap, has shown his bright blue car. Yeah, he's just up the road there, a tiny little speck in the horizon. There's only going to be 5 laps to go after Su4 rounds this final turn, so whether he'll lap another car, I'm not sure. So he demonstrated there why you want to avoid that curb. Luckily, it was only a small little twitch for him, but yeah, just got to be cautious around that final corner. Others in this race have fallen to that curb, so Su4 doesn't want to do that again. As looks like Magic spun in front there of Su4 and is just recovering there. Even though he's 3 laps behind, because we've had such a high level of attrition in this race, he's still holding it in P9 there, which will be a nice few points for Maciek. That's 7 points for him. His teammate Roni, that gap's extended back up to about 36 seconds, so where it was before Su4 had his little spin. As Michael laps Tajka there, coming into the second corner. So Michael, as I said, he's not been blowing us away with his pace. He's just been lapping slowly and steadily, and that has proved to be the strategy of choice here. He's got about 10 seconds in front of him to Roni. That means that if Roni keeps it out of the barrier, then everything should remain how it is. It's a little bit closer for P4. McElroy's still got Josep behind him, but yeah, that's a 2-second gap there, so McElroy won't be able to lift off yet. Manchester's still all over the back of these guys. It was Josep, and he's made his way past Josep, and now he's harassing the back of McElroy. As Thimuli, another retiree. So that's a shame for him. Again, it'd be interesting to see what happens there. I wonder if he flipped it or if he's hit the barrier again. But yeah, another driver out of this race. Josep gained 4 tenths on that lap to McElroy. I think it's a little bit a little bit too late for any comeback, but Josep still has the pace over him at points. Su4 is getting so close to the barrier. Every time we see him go through that chicane, I hold my breath. I'm sure he's holding his breath as well, but it's just impressive how close he gets to the barrier every time. As I'm hearing in my ear that Famili, he did flip his MRT so close to the end of the race, but sadly, yeah, car finishes the race on its side. Su4 is right on the back of Michael. Is he gonna try and get him on this last lap? That would be cruel. Let him finish the 56 laps. We might get a good idea of just how much faster Su4 is through the chicane than others. Yeah, he's gained probably about a tenth or two there, and he's now in the draft of Michael going into the last corner, and just he's backed out of it. He's been. Oh no, Michael's let him through. It's blue flags. So yeah, Su4 finishes a dominant showing in round 3 of the Zafiralis All-Rounder Championship on the top step of the podium. Michael finishes there in 3rd, just after being lapped by our winner. And we've got Su4. Yeah, that crash that he had earlier, just the damage that's caused, but he's managed to not let that hassle him. And Roni, I think, is going to be our last driver coming round. The last corner now in P2 there. So Roni finishes a very impressive P2 there with no mistakes there. Gives us a little slide there, and Su4 is having a bit of fun in the runoff area of the corner. He's managed to to breach his car on the wall there. Maybe he'll try and ask someone for some help. So yeah, Roni's given us a display on the start-finish line there. So yeah, here are the race results. Su4, the gap in the end from Su4 and Roni was 41.3 seconds. As I said, there's no other way to put it other than it's total dominance there from the master race car driver. Roni, yep. I'm not sure. I don't have a good idea of the records right now, but I think that's one of Roni's best results in ZFRL so far. So well done to him for keeping it out of the wall. Got Michael in 3rd, again on the podium for MRC. So he's kept the results consistent, and that's going to look very good for his championship now. He'll be up to P3. Martin McElroy in 4th, Josep 5th, Steve Martin again keeping it out of the barrier, has managed to improve quite a lot from his qualifying position there. So kudos to Steve Martin there. Tashka in 7th, Maciek in 8th, Famili in 9th after DNFing with only about 5 laps to go there, unfortunately. But he still will get some points for that. Mad Jester finished in 10th after rejoining about 20 laps into the race. Nico retiring 21 laps behind in 11th. Lallaroo 12th, Simox 13th, Galaxy 14th, 15th we had Tamas, and Boucher, who didn't get off the line there, rounds out the grid. So yeah, that was quite a dramatic round. We had a lot of collisions and accidents and a lot of MRTs in the wall, but I think we had quite a good showing there from all of these drivers. next month, the track is still to be confirmed, but we will. It'll be Sue4 who decides what environment we're heading to for the next 3 months of the All-Rounder Championship. I'm looking in chat right now, and Sue4 has just suggested Blackwood, so that might change. But yeah, Sue4 looks like we're heading to Blackwood for round 4 in April. So that'll be in a road tire car with road tires. So that's going to be an exciting one. Heading to another one, heading to the oldest LFS track, South City being one of I think the second environment added to LFS. So Blackwood the first. But yeah, hopefully we'll see you guys in a month. Thank you very much for watching, everybody, and thank you very much to Peter Butcher on the cameras directing. Thank you very much to Chris McElroy, who is doing liaison for me in my ears, letting me know what was going on, checking the replay, telling me who crashed into what. And I've been Adam Brown. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.